What's going on, everybody? It's JB the Roadrunner, back with a video. Today I'm going to get into how I ended up at Roadrunner Charters. I got my CDL in 2015. I have a Class A. I was driving trucks, and during that time I was over the road, and our family started expanding, so I got off the road. I did a local job. It didn't work out that well because the company ended up closing the Fort Worth yard. So I went to another company, did intermodal for a little bit, and it was a major carrier that wasn't really working due to the fact that I didn't really have the money expectations that they said I was going to get. And I left there. I drove school bus for a local school district. I did that for a year. And of course, driving school bus, yeah, you have the time and the flexibility to do a lot of things, but that money wasn't any better than what I was doing driving trucks. So I went back to driving trucks again. This time a company was pretty good, but there was something still missing. I can't remember what was the final straw. I think it may have been just it's like things will just change on the go, and in trucking that's going to happen, but it's not like it was happening more than it really should have. Plus that company was kind of in flux as well. They didn't know what they wanted to do with the yard. They wanted to move it, if they wanted to keep it there, if they wanted to shut it down. And the main option was ended up moving it, and it was too far for me to be traveling every day. So I left that company. I went back to the school bus for a little bit, and eventually I ended up at another school district. And during that time, as I was passing this school district, it was in the same area that Roadrunner is in. So a couple of days I was doing a route, and I would see this sign that says "Now Hiring." Hold on a second. Bruno. Okay, sorry. So I would see the sign for Roadrunner. They had out front said "Now Hiring." I'd see it, keep it rolling past, didn't think anything of it. Eventually, I would pass this sign numerous times because the route that I may have been covering for that day would always somehow take me by there. So finally I decided, hey, let me look at this and put in an application. I applied, and I think maybe the Thursday or Friday before spring break, I got a text message from the safety person at that time, and she was asking if I could come in for an interview. Okay, yeah. So I come in for the interview, and the way I was taught, I come in with dress shirt, tie, dress pants, dress shoes, and as I'm doing the interview, she may ask me between 3 and 5 questions. So after that, she says, okay, well, we actually have an orientation going on now. Would you mind sitting in on it? Okay, sure. I'm thinking, just to sit in on and see if it's something I like. I come in the orientation, and I'm sitting down, and next thing I know, they're handing me the standard new hire paperwork stuff, the W-4, emergency contact information, things like that, and they're going over procedures and everything, and taking us out to show us the buses and how they handle and all that. And it dawns on me, like, so I go and ask them, like, am I just sitting in or am I hired? She's like, yeah, you're hired. You're in new hire orientation. Okay. it was a shock to me, especially with me being dressed the way I was. But anyway, I spent that spring break going over or doing orientation. The trainer took us through some maneuvers. We did, he showed us a couple of the shuttles that we do on a consistent basis. He showed us where to pick the people up, drop them off. We went to the different hotels that they would be at. And he showed us how to get around the airport where we're supposed to pick people up and drop them off at. So we go through the whole gamut of the standard orientation. Taught us a lot. And after that, like, okay, so y'all officially Roadrunner. Those of you that are full-time, we're gonna put you on the schedule. Those of you that are part-time, whenever you can work, let us know. So I do that. My very first trip, I remember I was going down to Waco to pick up a group from Baylor and take them to the Dallas Mavericks game. Didn't know it was a big bus move. So I get down there, there's a bunch of other buses lined up. I get in line, and there I meet some of the drivers. I already knew a couple of them they would come in orientation and STS, shoot the you know what. So I was familiar with them, but I didn't know them. Some of the other drivers were there, and I think one of the first things, one of the ones I was familiar with, one of his first comments when I got there was, okay. He said, all right, I'm gonna let you know now. If you can't keep up, we gonna talk about you. And that was like the very first thing I was taught at Roadrunner. And of course, I drove trucks, so I had no problems doing that. And we got them to the game, and we're off at the training facility waiting for them to pick them back up. And that's when I met some of the coolest people I know. And I call them out here. Jamal, Resenda, my boy Raymond. I think, who else was on there? Taz, R.I.P. Taz. I can't remember who was all in that group with me. I know some of those were. And we hung out, and when I tell you I've never laughed so much at a group and some of the stuff that was going on and being said in my life. I think Archie may have been in there too. But it was, they didn't say it, but I felt like I was welcomed. And I've been doing it, I was doing it part-time and been doing it ever since. But fast forward to April, I ended up doing a boost for my boy Jamal. This was April of last year. And I think a couple of weeks later when I got that check, I was like, what? Yeah, I'm done with the school bus thing. I'm finna come full time. So I turned in my 2 weeks notice, did my 2 weeks. I let Roadrunner know that, hey, I'm coming full time now. And one of the dispatchers' reaction was yes, for whatever reason, I don't know. But I went full time back in April, and I've been full time with Roadrunner since. And yeah, it's had its ups and downs, and it's mainly when it's slow. When it's slow, yeah, it's feast or famine, but I've had a great group of people that I can say are like mentors that have told me, hey, when it's good, you run. When it's slow, you make sure you do what you can while it's good to stack up and save so you don't have to, so you're not struggling like that when it is slow. I've had a great 2 years total. 1 year full time at Roadrunner. I don't see me doing anything else. As I've told the operations manager and the general manager, that I finally found out what I love to do with my CDL. I love working for Roadrunner. I do not see me going anywhere. Yeah, they have their ups and downs, but that's any company. But I found the company that, for me, and this is just for me, that the ups definitely are better than the downs. I can honestly say that when I go to work, I enjoy going to work. I enjoy getting in my bus every day I'm working. I like meeting new people. I like going places. And that's everything to me. So that's basically, in a nutshell, how I ended up at Roadrunner. I don't think I'm glossed over or missed anything. So if you want to share your own stories, hey, feel free to. Just tell us how you ended up where you are. And if you have any advice for anyone that's looking to get into this, hey, drop a comment. Make sure you like, subscribe as well. Until then, JB the Roadrunner. I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my day with the family. Peace.